today?
Great.
Thanks so much for agreeing to meet here. I noticed that you said yes on your card, and I wanted to just find out a little bit more about why you chose the cancer policy to have more information on. If you had some experience with someone that you know that have had cancer, or has it affected their family?
Yes, my wife's mother was diagnosed, and it hit close to home.
Yeah, there's a lot of cancer. I know that's kind of my own story, is that my mother was diagnosed with cancer, and it took her by surprise. There's no family history, and that's one of the things that I wanted to share some of this information with you. The American Cancer Society now says that 3 out of 4 families actually does experience cancer. Of course, it could hit men, women, and children. As a principal, I've seen more and more children being affected with childhood leukemia. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you have a family history of it. It says that the American Cancer Society, again, that 3 out of 4 families are affected with cancer, and it's not hereditary. So it could be from air, food, who knows what's going on to cause so many new cases of cancer. And although cancer is on the rise, 6 out of 10 people will survive cancer. There are lots of different expenses that come along with cancer. There's the direct and the indirect expenses. So the direct is what you think of automatically, that you're going to experience some costs associated with medical, doctors, hospitals, that your health insurance is going to help you with those expenses. Then there are indirect expenses. What are some examples of indirect expenses you can think of?
Things like the travel, or maybe the loss of income.
True. That loss of income would be huge for me, and you never know about where you're going to find the best doctors. So some of the indirect costs, as you aren't working, your income is going down. For me, if I'm not working, I don't have any income. However, my expenses are going up. So like you said, there could be out-of-pocket travel expenses, lodging, gas, food. Also, anything that your health insurance is not paying for, like your deductible or any of those limits that you have in your policy that will require you to pay first. Your living expenses, gas still has to be paid, electric still has to be paid. And meanwhile, as your income's going down, your expenses are going up. So, when do most people find out about all these expenses?
Obviously when it happens.
It's kind of late to find all that out about that then, isn't it?
It is.
Which of these indirect costs would affect you and your family the most?
Well, obviously the loss of income. We're a 2-income family, so even losing one of those would be huge for us. And then depending on where we had to travel for treatment, it could be very expensive.
Right, exactly. So that's one of the great things about Family Heritage. Oops, I skipped over something, so we'll have to cut there, and then, so yes, that's true. We'll trim that, and then I'll say, yes, that is true. When you find that out and someone's income has been affected, that is late. So what if you have like 2, 3, 4 months of lost income? What is the plan for you and your family?
Yeah, I wouldn't have one. 401k maybe temporarily, but it's not a long-term solution.
Right. Same for me. I don't have savings that I've done for retirement and for later in life, but not really for cancer. So again, you could have to dip into your investments. Maybe there's some assets that you could sell off, or of course, like you mentioned, for 401k that you could cash out early. But those are things that you wanted to keep for your future, so you can have a retirement, you can enjoy life later. So that's why Family Heritage has this wonderful policy that's Cancer Care Plus, and that pays to you, unlike what your health insurance, they're going to take care of the doctors and hospitals, keeping them in business. But Family Heritage's Cancer Care Plus keeps you and your family in business. So it pays any of the things that we've talked about directly to you. Those expenses that you have to cover, you have to cover. So you would get the check directly paid to you so you can cover the things that you need to. So here's how it works. Gordon Daniels is a great example of someone who he writes in, he says, "I'd like to say that people who think they've had enough insurance should think again. I have great health insurance that didn't even begin to help me cover all my bills. People didn't realize how much money you spend on gas, just like you said, the gas and the food and the lodging when you travel over 60 miles for the chemo treatments that he needed. Policy helped him with his home bills, mortgage payments, utilities like we were just talking about. I haven't been able to go to work in months." And then he talks about his agent, how much his agent has helped. Shelley Billingsley has been a godsend. Shelley has handled all my claims and overnighted them to Family Heritage. So all of that was relief from him. He ended up with over $30,000. Actually, skip that. That's not really right. He ended up with $4,000 paid, so that he didn't have to worry about some of those expenses we just talked about. So why choose Family Heritage? Well, there's several different reasons. Number one, it's simple to understand. It's affordable and it's yours. It's portable, so no matter where you work, you take the policy with you. And if you don't use it, you have some of that left, then you get it paid back. So any of the insurance premiums that you're paying for your car insurance, do you get that back if you don't use it?
Nope, unfortunately.
That would be really nice. I haven't had an accident, knock on wood, in a really long time. It would be really nice if I could get some of that back in a few years. Okay, we're going to stop there.